Well, the day is finally here. Castlevania Advance Ultimate Collection has finally arrived after, I don't know, almost a year of waiting or something like that? Maybe? I don't know. I can't even remember when I ordered it. Oh, September. Well, that's not terrible. Kind of a shorter wait. Well, you guys may remember the original video that I did on the Anniversary Ultimate Collection. Yeah, remember this one? Well, if you don't remember the video, link down below. Anyways, we're done with this one. Moving on to the Advanced Collection. Let's take a look and see what's included. The box is pretty similar, pretty on par. I really like that each side has the different games from the Advanced Collection. Obviously, Dracula X is missing from this, but that was more of like an extra, like, bonus thing that they tossed on. Why they didn't include Legends in that, I don't know. I mean, it would have made more sense than Dracula X, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. So before I open this, I just want to compare the two in terms of size, and yeah, they're pretty much on par. They're the same size, so that's kind of nice. That'll look nice in the bookshelf, as you can see. All right, let's go ahead and open this bad boy up and see if it was a waste of money, which, I mean, it usually isn't, but, you know, because it's still Castlevania at the end of the day. All right, here's the box. All right, now, let's see. We do have a shadow box, just like the other one. I gotta say, like, looking at this, let's turn the lights off real quick. There you go. That's pretty snazzy. I really like the picture here. It really illuminates Soma Cruz out of the box. So this would look really cool with all the lights off, just hanging out in your collection. All right, now the moment of truth. We turned it on. Let's hear the music that plays. I like it. It sounds good. You know, it's got a tiny speaker. Yeah, you can't do much with Game Boy Advance. Although, I find it odd that they include a Circle of the Moon track when it's an Aria of Sorrow, you know, front box art. That's a little bizarre, but I don't know. I really like the soundtrack to Circle of the Moon, so I'm not really complaining. Wow, that's a short loop. I didn't hit the button or anything. It just kind of, you know, stops there. You know, I guess that's all they could fit on there. All right, now, I gotta say this box is gorgeous. It's really, really nice. And here you can see like the 4 games that are on the collection. I will say that the cardstock on this box is really thick. It's almost intimidating to open. So here we go. This is just the instructions for the shadow box. Tells you that a USB cable is an option. I'm gonna go over the shadow box first, just because it's the biggest thing in the collection physically. So let's pop that out. So it comes with, oh, hold on, we've got some extra goodies here, which we'll take a look at in a second. Here's the shadow box out of the actual unit. I mean, it looks pretty much the same as the other one. It has spots in the back so that you can hang it on a wall. Pretty cool. It's got the USB port there, just like the other one does. So, you know, if you wanted to light these up all the time, you definitely can. My worry about doing something like that is that the bulb will eventually die out on this, whatever type of bulb it is, and replacing that seems kind of difficult. This has regular screws that you can just pop out and replace, but I don't know, maybe just read the instructions and save, but I don't know, that's the shadow box. Now in back of the shadow box that was included was the bonus slipcover boxes with the Circle of the Moon box art on there. Pretty cool. I dig it. And it's got that Konami classic look with the silver. And here's the slipcover. It's nice. I like it. Here was something that was right on the top. And if you remember my complaints about the previous collection, the Anniversary Collection, was tchotchkes. I really think, and like a couple people made comments saying like, well, didn't you know what you were buying? Yeah, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna dislike what I'm not gonna love everything that I'm buying. A lot of people, like me, bought the Anniversary Collection basically for that physical hardcover book. And in this one, I think the thing that sold me were the DSS cards and the map, which we'll get to. So here's some Castlevania keychains. Literally, it's just like cheap knockoff keychains for the different games. There's Circle of the Moon. Here's Aria of Sorrow. Here's Harmony of Dissonance. And here is Dracula X. Now Dracula X is actually modeled off the Super NES box, which is cool, the actual like cartridge. I want to touch on something though regarding these, because they don't actually have the box art on them. I think this one's probably the closest to the originals. And Aria of Sorrow, here you go. I mean, they don't have the actual box art on them, so they just have the logos. Whereas the original games, which I have my original copies of right here, these are the original releases. And if you take a look at the carts, here's Aria of Sorrow. Okay, so it has actual like face, Soma Cruz's face on it with the logo. Whereas if you look at the Aria of Sorrow keychain, it doesn't have that. It's just like a plain blah logo, which is kind of a bummer. Here's Harmony of Dissonance. This is the original cartridge, and as you can see, just Belmont's face is prominently displayed on the actual cart. Why they didn't put that on these little dumb keychains, I don't know, but it definitely brings down my opinion on those keychains. Am I ever going to take these out of the plastics? No, these are going to go back in the box. I really could care less about these. All right, let's get into the oversized Aria of Sorrow box. This is the original like style Aria of Sorrow box, but obviously they added in all the other games on the back, and it's prominently displayed with the Advance Collection logos and Aria of Sorrow's box art on there. I gotta say, these flaps, I don't know, are not in the greatest shape. This one is already like curled, whereas this one is straight. So probably just like a packaging error of some sort. I don't know. It's not enough to like raise hell over in terms of like going to customer service and being like, I demand a refund. Like, who cares? That would just be me being a baby, I guess. Okay. This is the Steelbook. I like that it's got like a glossy glaze to it with some embossing. That's really cool. Take a look at it opened with the little sub icons. There's the hearts. These look like, well, okay, it's got like the boot. Looks like a boot icon. Looks like a bunch of different icons from different games over the years, because the cross in and of itself, the cross of the boomerang or whatever you want to call it, that looks like something out of Dracula X. Same thing with the axe. And then this is really cool. They took, on the inside cover, this is pretty dope actually. They used the art for the original character. So you've got Nathan, Just, Soma, and Richter. And for Richter's art, they actually used Japanese art from the original game's release, which is really cool, because otherwise it's just the Rondo art that was featured. So they actually took, just to touch on that, I believe that the inside art of the manual for Dracula X is that art as well. And so, yeah, I guess technically that counts. But the box art in and of itself for those, which are all used here, aside from, I mean, you've got the box art for Just, you've got the box art for Soma, and then as far as the box art for Nathan goes, that's more like the manual box art, or the manual art that was inside the manual. I can't remember if it's on the back of the box or not. And then Richter has that art from the manual slash the original art from the Super Famicom release of Dracula X, also known as Akumajo Dracula XX. So really cool. I'm not normally a Steelbook guy, but this is a really cool Steelbook. Here's the game, the actual thing that people, care about. I'm gonna open this just to see like what's inside, just to show you guys. I wasn't planning on opening this, if I'm gonna be completely honest, just because it's, I don't need it because I have it digitally. I bought it when it came out, so, but I got it just for collector's purposes. Here's what's inside. Again, you've got a manual, you've got the cartridge, you've got the inside art, which again has Richter there. Really cool. Let's take a look at this manual. It's pretty bare bones. It's basically just covering page after page of, hey, here's the game. That's basically it. Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow, and Dracula X, and of course, notes, you know, for passwords. And if you're sitting here going, passwords, yeah, Dracula X had passwords. Here's the inserts that it came with. These are the alternate inserts if you wanted to switch them out. Honestly, I'm just gonna put them all in the same case, which somebody is probably in the comments gonna be like, I can't believe you do that. But yeah, I don't really have a preference on which one is shown. I might switch out and just have the Harmony of Dissonance one, because the Harmony of Dissonance was my favorite of the 3 GBA games. Now, what else does this come with? Well, it comes with a giant poster of your mom. No, just kidding. It's a giant poster. And I gotta say, I hate folded posters, because you cannot, unless you plan on potentially damaging them with an iron and a you know, a thing, or basically just like putting them in a glass, you know, like a display or like a poster thing, you know, a frame. I really hate folded posters. It always looks terrible hung up, and it's a bummer when they do that, but hey, is what it is. Check this out though. I really love this. This is sick. The Vampire's Kiss poster. I might hang that up. I don't know where, but I might hang it up. This is cool too, but this looks very much like a poster that you'd see in like a magazine back in the day. And this is just like a straight up promo poster. So this is really cool. Why they decided to put Vampire's Kiss on here, I don't know. We never called it Vampire's Kiss. Vampire's Kiss was the name of Dracula X if you lived in PAL regions. So why they decided to do that and release this nationwide, like all around the world with the Vampire's Kiss logo, I don't know. That's weird. They really should have just put Dracula X and just left it there. But I don't know, what are you gonna do? All right, up next we've got the maps. Yeah, let's take a look at these. So each one of these maps is detailed and laid out pretty in depth. Here's the one for Circle of the Moon. And on the back is the dual setup system chart, which is really cool. I gotta say, that's dope. These maps are great. The art and layout was done by Jeremy Parrish, and he did a great job on these. The art is a little questionable. It kind of reminds me of like Nintendo Power art from back in the day. I mean, look at that. That's kind of silly. But I like that it's not stock art. You know, they actually went with an artist who, you know, could draw, and, you know, they gave an interpretation of the character on here. So pretty cool. Here's the Aria map, which is cool. They got little pictures of like Julius and all the other characters. And yeah, this is pretty dope. I gotta say, I'm kind of happy with these maps. And on the back is the Soul Power and Collecting chart. It's nice. It's cool. I like it. Last but certainly not least, Harmony of Dissonance. Here's the map. Oh, this is Castle B map, as you can see. And here is Castle A map. Pretty neat. Here's the Castlevania Advance Collection soundtrack. Now here's the thing about these games and their soundtracks. Not including Dracula X. I'm gonna open this just to open it, just so I can show you guys. But the discs themselves are really cool. As you can see, they put the original art on the discs. Disc 1 is a combination of Dracula X and Circle of the Moon, which is nice. Here's the thing, though, about these tracks. Most likely, I'm almost 99% sure, these were all just handed over from Konami from their other collections, which got re-released over the years. The most recent example is the Castlevania Black and Red collections, which I did an unboxing maybe a couple years ago or 2 years ago. So go check that out on the channel down below, where you can kind of check out both of those box sets and see what's included. But I'm never gonna play these. I may put them in just to compare, but I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. With the Game Boy Advance quality, Limited Run did an absolutely terrible job with the vinyls that they released. The vinyls I didn't even buy. As soon as I reached out to Limited Run via Twitter and was just like, hey, I spoke with I can't remember his name, Josh Fairhurst or whatever his name is, who I think is the president. But I asked him, like, straight up, where are these being sourced from? Like, are they being reformatted, like readjusted for vinyl? And they're not. They're not. They're just basically given to them from Konami. But then they, to be fair, he did say that when they have the opportunity to remaster it for vinyl, they do that. So cool. But these are mostly just like MP3s or just straight up copies from the discs from the Black and Red collection, which I have over there. So yeah, I don't know, nah. There's a lot of stuff in this collection. These are art postcard things, just basically stock art with they have a bit of a smell to them. Not like a bad smell, like a factory printing smell. They look nice. I would never hang these up, probably, but they're cool looking. I don't know, maybe the Dracula X one I might hang up instead of that poster, just because it looks a lot better, unfolded, or not folded rather. So cool, but kind of meh. All right, and finally, the thing that I was most excited about, the DSS dual cards from Circle of the Moon. This was pretty hype. These and the maps were the two things that sold this collection to me. I did not buy the Requiem Ultimate Collection because I really just didn't feel like the money was worth it. And I kind of stand by that decision after watching my buddy Do You Nerd on YouTube. They did a unboxing of it, if I recall, and I watched that and I was like, yeah, no, I'm glad I didn't buy it. Here's the box, which is really cool. Here's the DSS cards in what looks to be like they put this little fabric in so you could just like lay them on top, which is kind of nice. There's nothing underneath. I will say I'm kind of disappointed that there's no trading card. I don't know, if you guys bought this and you got a trading card with it, let me know, but I don't think they, oops. So just a word of warning to anybody, because I just did this. This comes out. What they did was they just like hot glued it onto the box and kind of did a not so great job with it. So I think, just be careful when you're pulling this out, because I just broke it and I could fix it. It's not a problem. Just probably use like some sort of glue or super glue on it or something. But I figured I'd let everybody know. So these cards are much smaller and thinner than I thought they would be. I mean, they are cards, so I can't be too upset. But from the looks of it in the picture, maybe it was just, the looking at all the other stuff and being like, whoa, there's so much stuff here. Like, oh, these cards look ginormous. They don't look that big. They are still really cool, though. As you can see, we're going to take a look at these together. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. So, pretty neat. It would have been cool if on the back of the cards they had some kind of information about maybe like where they came from, like where the creatures came from, or maybe like the names or information on them. Instead, they're just like sprite rips right from the game, which, I mean, there's only so much that you can do with the art for these, but they look cool. I'm just a little bummed that they're not, one, bigger, and two, more detailed. So, but the actual art in and of itself, the sprite artwork and everything is pretty nice. So I gotta hand it to him on that. See what happens when I close this box. There we go. Just gotta fix this little string thingy. Okay, that's the Castlevania Advance Collection. I'm not going to bother like putting it all back together just to show it to you. I gotta say, I feel a little bit better about the collection this time around than the Anniversary Collection. I think I was pretty hard on the Anniversary Collection. I'm gonna give this an overall like solid, I think, B+. I think overall the quality here is much better than the Anniversary Collection. The Shadow Box in and of itself is pretty rock solid. I do really like all the extra goodies for the most part. Other than the keychains, they really kept it to a minimum with the fluff. The maps are great, and I also really like the dual cards. I just wish they were a little better. So yeah, I'd probably say, I think I'd say a B+. I think it's a better collection than the Anniversary Ultimate Collection in terms of the goodies that you get. But I will say you get way more with that other collection. The biggest issue that I have is they didn't include a printout of any of the digital stuff for the Advanced Collection, you know, any of the extra bonuses or any of that info. So that would have been cool to have in like a physical art book form. Strategy guides would have been neat too, like maybe mini strategy guides or something like that. But overall, I mean, I can't really complain too much. I will say that the print quality on stuff like this is a lot better than when they did it for the Anniversary Collection. But these keychains are just really lackluster. Overall, that's probably the worst item in this set. But that's it. That's the Advanced Collection unboxing. Waited a long time for this one. I'm glad it finally showed up. What do you guys think? Do you think this was worth whatever it cost me to buy? I think it was like $179 plus tax. Let me know down in the comments below, and go check out those other videos, links down below as well. And in addition to that, any other Castlevania videos, there'll be more links down below. As always, thanks so much for watching. Leave a comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you guys later.